Hey y'all, Robert Mercer here with Casey Honda. Hey, wanted to do a short video here for you. Right behind me is one of our Accord LX models. This is a 2019. I was originally just going to do a full walk around on a touring, and then it got way too long trying to split apart all the feature differences. So stay tuned. I'm going to do a walk around just like I do with one of my customers if they were coming here to the dealership. If you have any questions, as always, drop them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them for you. All right, let's take a look. All right, so this is a 2019 Honda Accord. We're actually going to start over here from the front. So one of the interesting things about these new Accords is that even though they are an LX or a base model, you can see here on the key, or the fob rather, they are still keyless entry and push button start. So coming from the front here, you can see we redesigned the Accord in 18, gave it a bit of more of aggressive front styling. This one here is lunar silver metallic with, I believe, a gray interior, I think. On the front, one of the other major changes here are the LED headlights. So on all models except for the Touring, you have LED main beams, and then you can see here you have the standard high beam headlights. So that was done, we have to do that to get a IIHS Plus top safety pick. So we added those on. Those are now standard on all of the Accord models. On the Touring, by the way, it'll have both the LED high and low beam. So you'll see a full LED light bar on the front. See that Accord right across from us, that other silver one? Looks like it's a Touring there. You can see how it has the full LED lights on the nose. So some other quick things about we can see from the front of this car. So right down underneath the license plate bracket. Let me see if I can get you a better view of that. So you can see there, that's the Honda sensing system. That's actually the radar for sensing. And then up on the top, right over here, you can see we do have the camera also for Honda sensing. So what Honda sensing does, it provides a few safety features and driver assistance. So for example, the radar unit on the bottom, that actually provides us our adaptive cruise control. You know, slows you down automatically when there's a vehicle in front of you. And the camera up there at the top, that provides the guidance for our lane keeping assist. And LCAS lane keeping assistance system, it'll read the lines on the road, and then actually apply torque and turn the steering wheel slightly while you're driving to help you stay centered in your lane. The cool thing also with the adaptive cruise on this one is that on the Accords, the Civics, and the CR-Vs, it'll actually can bring you down to a complete stop behind a vehicle in front of you. So I've been on that road over there before, around rush hour. Haven't had to hit my gas pedal or my accelerator once because I'm just letting the adaptive cruise control handle it the whole time. So let's come around to the side. You can see this is an LX model, as I said. It does not have the sunroof on it. So this is sort of the stripped down unit. Still has the alloy rims, as I said earlier. Now let's take a look at the sticker over here. You can see 33 miles per gallon city and highway, or 33 miles per gallon combined, 30 city, 38 on the highway. Fantastic crash test safety ratings, full 5 stars in all categories. And the vehicle was, of course, it's an Accord built at our Marysville, Ohio plant. Now, how does this get such fantastic fuel efficiency? Well, the reason is it's being powered by 192 horsepower direct injection turbocharged 4-cylinder, which we can actually take a look at. I'll give you a little sneak peek of the interior, which we can take a look at right now. Oh, there we go. I'm used to it being on the side of the inside of the footwell. So let's pop this hood open for a second. Let's take a look at what's underneath. Of course, I'm holding my phone with one hand, so doing this one-handed is always a bit of a challenge. There we go. Alrighty then. So that is the inside of the Accord's engine. Hopefully you're getting a good view there because I can't see what's going on my phone right now. There we go. All right, so that's the engine right there. This is the same engine, the L15B7, that powers the CR-Vs, like this silver one right there, as well as a good chunk of the Civics. So, what's so special about this engine? Well, it's a direct injection, so it's actually injecting the fuel directly into each cylinder. Coil-over plug ignition engine. That allows us to really regulate the fuel efficiency. It allows us to regulate how much, when, and how the fuel is being injected into the cylinder. It also allows us to directly control the timing of the ignition for each cylinder. So rather than having a distributor that just sort of fires each one of these in sequence, there's a separate coil underneath this black cap above each spark plug. Sort of allows us, you know, a bit better control over combustion. You can see a bunch of other stuff in there. The battery's nice and visible. You can see the grounding wire right there. The turbo unit is actually this thing right here. Yeah, a little crispy there because I was running the car a minute ago. And then you have sort of brake line controls over there. But you can see everything's pretty accessible. Your oil fill plug is right there on the top, and then you have your dipstick is nice and fluorescent safety orange right there. Overall, very well designed vehicle. This car also does have the Honda Ace body structure. You can see some of that in here. That's our advanced compatibility engineering body structure. What it's designed to do is, see how all these plates are sort of laminated across each other? The idea with Ace is that in case of an impact, those are actually going to push out. So instead of a standard sort of crumple zone where the energy is really contained inside this engine compartment, part of the idea with Ace is that it pushes that energy out and away from the vehicle and away from the passenger compartment. All right, so let me close this up real quick, give you another good shot of the engine there. Again, as I said, doing this one-handed is always a bit of a challenge. All right, so let's take a walk around to the back of the vehicle now. So the idea with the Accord is really to be something of a sort of family sports vehicle, you know. Sportier, still capable of handling people and being able to, you know, carry some good cargo. And as part of that, you gotta have a nice sized trunk. Which I think the Accord certainly does. Some of my coworkers could fit down there. Also, you'll notice that the Accord does come with its carpeted floor mats, standard. There's no extra charge on the sticker for that. Cough, cough, unlike Toyota. Sorry, couldn't resist. And you do have the release for the back seat right there. And this is a solid unit back seat, so the whole thing folds down all at the same time. That's true on the LX model. That is not true on the higher trims. You can also see here, you do have a 3-position backup camera mounted right down there. So that'll give you sort of a wide angle lens shot. It'll give you with like almost like a fisheye lens. It'll give you a narrower view, and it'll also can pivot and actually tilt itself down to give you a top-down view off the back bumper. I'll show you that more when we do the interior. So that's a basic rundown of the exterior of the Accord LX. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna come back to you guys, I'll be inside the Accord, and show you some of the functionality in there. All right, see you in a second. Hey everyone, Robert Mercer here with KC Honda, I'm back. So, we are now inside the 2019 Accord LX. As you can see, pretty nice interior setup here. One thing I do want to show you, by the way, that I forgot to do on the walk around outside, is actually take a look at the back seat back here. So I have this seat all the way back and leaned pretty far back as well. You can see there's still plenty of legroom back there. I can actually sit comfortably. I'm about 6'1", almost 6'2", and I can sit comfortably back here just fine. So let's get started. We're gonna actually start down here. You can see you do have an armrest. Nice little Honda armrest there, comes nice and far forward. If I raise it up, you can see down into the center armrest area. So let me refocus my camera here. This thing actually slides, and if I don't like it, I can pull it out entirely. And then down there, you have the actual storage area. So I can also, awkward to do at the angle I'm sitting at right now, I apologize. This panel down here actually is removable for cleaning. So there it goes. So you can pull this thing out and actually remove it for cleaning as well. Nice little feature. Down here you also do have a 12-volt charger down there. If I can maneuver my camera here. See a little 12-volt charger down there. Flip that up. There we go. All right, so let's go forward a bit. So over here, we have the electronic parking brake here and the brake hold functionality here. So what brake hold does is a really cool feature, actually. You know, let me put this back. It's gonna be sitting on my lap and it's gonna be annoying me. There we go. So what brake hold does is when I turn that system on and drive, it'll enable the system, and then when I bring the car to a stop, it'll actually keep my brakes depressed and my brake lights on, obviously, and keep the vehicle stopped until I press the accelerator and it releases the brakes. Just sort of a feature, you know, if you're stopped at a light, a long light or something, or a drive-through, you know, you have to play that one-handed game where you have to reach behind yourself and lift yourself up to get out of your wallet. Just something to keep yourself stopped so you're not trying to do that while, you know, keeping your foot slammed down on the brake. To release the parking brake, by the way, all you have to do is put your foot down on the brake, down there, and then just give this a push down, and it releases. You see the light goes off there, and the light goes off on my center screen over there. To set it, I just pull it up again, and lights back on. There we go. All right, so moving up here a little bit, we have our standard shifter, park, reverse, neutral, drive, second, low. pretty standard. The release lever for the front of it is right up here on the front. All right, now this is the LX model. If I release this here, I can see down here you have a USB charger down there, and then another 12-volt outlet, if I close the lid on it, right down in there. There you go. And of course, this is a nice, you know, push button closure right there. Coming up again, I do have a dual zone climate control left and right side. There aren't any vents in the back for this model. And it is fully automatic, you can see there. I don't have it on automatic right now because if I did, the fans would come on to full power and you wouldn't really be able to hear me that well. But you can also see right now I do have it in synchronous mode. So what it's doing essentially is whenever I change my driver's side, it changes the passenger side. Now if I push down auto here, you hear the fans are spinning up. Let me turn that down. That's why I don't have it on auto. Another cool little feature here is if you look at the bezel around this ring, when I turn the temperature up, it turns red, and down it turns blue. And it's a nice solid click. That's something I really like about the Hondas. You know, it doesn't just kind of spin and, you know, not do anything. It gives you some good tactile feedback. You know, I like to be able to feel what's going on. So coming up here to the audio screen, you can see you have your, you know, hazards button right there. Yay, hazards. So the screen on this looks like a touch screen. It is not. It is a push button screen. And I do want to point out, by the way, that I do have the cover is still on it. You can see the screen quality is much improved when I pull that cover off. So here you can see I can go through, I can get my radio, FM1, FM2, AM, and then back to FM1 and 2. My controls are down here on the bottom for presets, so I can guys go to 90.1. And then actually I do have a tune scroll knob here on the right side, or yeah, on the right side. So I can change it, I can press and hold here, and that sets, nice little beep, that sets my audio. If I hit media here, you can see I have my USB play, Pandora integration via Bluetooth, which of course means I have Bluetooth. So, and then it also, because it does have Bluetooth, you have phone control. You can see it saying, you don't have a phone paired, would you like to add one now? No, in fact, I would not. That's fine. Oh, I hit yes by accident, didn't I?
The pairing process requires operation from the displayed list.
Go away, Honda. And there you go, there's that. So up here, I do have my traditional, you know, flip mirror, and then a little sunglasses holder, if I can get the camera on it, right in there. All right, that's the boring stuff. Let's come over here. So you can see this is a push button start vehicle, even though it doesn't have, so it has keyless entry. You push the button, it unlocks the doors. It doesn't have hands-free keyless entry. So it doesn't have the one where you put your hand on the inside of the door handle and it automatically unlocks for you. So coming up here, even though this is the LX, you can see it has the same screen as the upper trim versions. And let me take econ mode off. There we go. So here on the screen, your right side of the screen, your right third of the screen is a traditional speedometer, and your left 2/3 is a big old LCD screen. And as I change things, I can alter that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the home button here. That's gonna open up my menu. So right now I can set it to just display my tachometer for me. I can switch it over to my range and fuel display. I can even set it to a speed and time display. I don't know why you're doing speed and time measurements in an Accord LX, but okay. This is a really cool feature, traffic sign awareness. So what it will do is it'll use the camera, which you can see this big black box thing up here is the actual camera for Honda sensing. And it'll use that camera to essentially read the speed signs on the side of the road as you're driving by. So as you go by, it reads the camera, it reads the speed sign, and it actually displays it right up here. So you know how some GPS will give you, you know, the speed limit on in the left or right little bottom corner? Similar idea. The advantage to this is that it isn't going to get out of date, and it can actually read like construction zone signs, that sort of thing. If this screen isn't up, by the way, if I have this on like tachometer or something, it'll actually put that little box right here just above where the parking symbol is. So where the little gear shift display is. And by the way, you can see that's your odometer right below it. Some other stuff this has, driving support. So that just tells you the distance to the car in front of you. You can see I'm 9 yards away from a ridgeline. Nice little feature there. Driver attention monitor. This is another cool one. So essentially it monitors the safety features, the road departure mitigation, and the collision mitigation braking system. And if those are going off, or if you're driving erratically, that gray bar right here will go down. Once it hits one bar, it'll actually vibrate the wheel and let you know that you might want to take a rest. Pretty cool. And of course, maintenance minder information, safety support information. That's where you can actually turn off your road departure or mitigation and the collision mitigation braking system. So what those are, I think I kind of glossed over them a little bit earlier. So essentially what road departure mitigation does is it uses that camera, right there. It uses that camera up there to essentially read the lines on the road. If it detects you're leaving your lane, it's going to vibrate the wheel and sort of kick the wheel over a little bit to, make sure you get over. And if it detects that you're going off the road entirely, it'll apply a lot more torque, pretty heavy twist. And then what it'll do is it'll actually apply the brakes automatically to try and mitigate, you're going off-road in a family sedan. That's not exactly what I would recommend doing. The collision mitigation braking system uses the radar sensor. So you can see here on the safety support information page, right there. So you can see the outside bar there, if I go into system select here. So those outside bars is road departure, and then collision mitigation is right in front of the car. So what collision mitigation will do is it uses that radar sensor. If it detects that you're about to be in a collision, it'll actually alert you in the center screen. You'll get a visual alert that takes up this screen here, and an audible alert over the speaker system. If you fail to react and it detects that a collision has become unavoidable, it'll actually apply the brakes to full power to try and try and mitigate the damage involved in that collision. Okay, other stuff. So you can see here on the stock, this is a base model. It still has its automatic headlights right there. And then over here, we have this whole bunch of controls. So these all run your Honda sensing components, your active with driver assist. So if I hit main here, you'll see on my center display, if I move here, you'll see those two lights that say ACC LCAS. So that's telling you that the system is armed, ready to go, and functional. It's kind of like hitting the cruise main button on an older Accord. Of course, you have your set, resume, and cancel buttons right there, obviously. Down here, this button here changes your following distance. I need to get my camera to refocus. There we go. This controls your following distance. So if I push this button here, you'll see in the center display, I get 4 bars, right? And by pressing more, I can cycle through. And that's kind of the relative distance that your Accord's going to keep when your adaptive cruise control is turned on. So the reason I say relative distance is that 2 bars at 20 miles an hour is going to be different from 2 bars at 60 miles an hour. It's going to space out a little bit more, give you, a little bit more space if you're at a higher velocity, basically. This button here, this is for your lane keeping assist. So if I press this button, you'll see those little hollow lines, road lines pop up. Those will be filled in when your vehicle, when it detects the lines on the road. And lane keeping assist functions from 45 miles an hour or above. So they're hollow like this. It can't pick up the road lines. It's not helping you steer at all. Obviously, that's because there are no lines on the road because I'm sitting in my parking lot. When those fill in the center of each dotted line, then that means it's locked on and good to go. A couple other quick things here. The Accord steering wheel release is right here. You can see I can pull it down, and I can also pull it in and out. Just a little bit of adjustment here. And then over on the left down here, of course, you have your audio control, source control, and then you have your call pickup, call hang up, and for the Honda voice activation right there. So that about does it. That's the interior of the LX. You can also see here you have your side curtain airbags there and there. You have your side airbags that are located in the seat sides over here. So if you have any other questions, please reach out to me. Let me know. I will be happy to answer as many as I can. Also in one of the end cards that should be coming up, maybe over here, I believe. You'll also have some information on our Casey Carefree new car warranty. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped. Stay tuned. I'll probably in a little bit probably not today, but soon, be doing a video on the Accord Sport 1.5, which is another exciting trim we have. Anyways, talk to y'all soon. Bye now.